Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of Kamen Rider Ex-Aid Episode 3. I apologize, this review is a bit later than usual. I usually like to get Superhero Times, Sentai, and Rider reviews up on Wednesdays, but the subs were a bit late this week, and believe me, I was upset about it, not just because I like to keep my video schedule, but I actually really wanted to watch Ex-Aid. With Ghost, I was wanting to get the episodes done because I needed to watch them for the podcast. But now it's like I honestly wanted to watch it, and if you couldn't tell by me saying that, this was another solid entry. I had a few problems with it, and it was mainly with the logic of one of the characters, Emu specifically, which I'll get that out of the way at first. There was a couple notable examples. At the beginning of the episode, when the kid of the week was getting scared, which, you know, the stress causes the, person of the week to feed into the Bugster's virus, so they create more henchmen, basically, and more trouble, and powers them up. And the kid was becoming scared at Snipe fighting against the Bugster, and Genmu's, not Genmu, what's his name? Steve. No, I know other names, like Steve. No, anyway. Emu's, solution was to transform and attempt to stop Snipe, which I thought was stupid, because I feel like the more obvious solution would have been to get the kid out of there and let Snipe take care of the Bugster. That seemed dumb. And also, later in the episode, which it was kind of a two-pronged thing, because I like what the idea they were going for of Ex-Aid showing that he cared enough about the kid or the patient to risk his life when it was, which is also kind of a neat thing, it was kind of revealed that they actually sort of have a life bar, and if it goes down when they're transformed, they could die, and they can fix it by, de-transforming, which is very video game-like, which is neat. But anyway, the point of that is, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, the point of that is that he wanted to show that he cared about the kid and the patient, and so he risked his life by essentially jumping in front of these blasts, risking his life, which I get the point they were going for, and it was good to show that he's like a good guy, and it was also a neat way of showing that if the subject of the Bugster virus isn't scared, then it will depower the Bugster, which I think is another cool way to fight against them and might be used in the future. But I get that, but I think that it was dumb for him to just charge out there directly, even though he was trying to prove a point. Like, there was all kinds of cover where they were, so it was like, have you not played like Gears of War or Uncharted or any cover game, like especially it's a game-based show where just jump from cover to cover, man. I just thought there was a couple dumb decisions character-wise for him. But other than that, I don't think there was anything else that bugged me. Well, there was one thing which I'll get to in a minute, but other than that, I did really enjoy the episode. Since I already mentioned him and sort of broke my usual order for this episode, this was Snipe's debut episode. Again, I'm continuing to enjoy how they're introducing the writers. I like how they each essentially have gotten an episode. You had Ex-Aid's pilot debut, and then you had Brave, and now Snipe, and I like that we do that, and we have time to essentially do kind of their own launch. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And also, I just like with Brave, I appreciate that we don't have to wait until the end of the episode to get a transformation. Like, Snipe pretty much was there right out the gate from the beginning of the episode, which was great. It's kind of a cool way of doing it, because they essentially do level 1, and then you're treated to the level 2 later in the episode, which I think is cool. And Snipe is kind of interesting, because he's it's partly like, Ex-Aid's having to deal with the other two writers being both that sort of jerk writer role, that like the main character is a classic optimistic hero and then the other two are kind of jerks. So you do have some similarities there, and it's interesting because in most cases you don't have to have a main writer right away dealing with two of those types of characters around all the time. But they are a bit different. It's like there's a bit sameness there, but I like the difference of Brave is essentially fighting for the same goal as Ex-Aid, but he just has a much harsher way of dealing about it. And in contrast, Snipe is mainly out for himself and is more about the actual game. He's going after the Gashats to defeat the Bugsters. He's not really about the patients, he's about the core game. Basically, Ex-Aid and Brave are just enjoying the way Westworld is, and Snipe is the man in black going around trying to find more about what the real game's about. That was a stretch, but I just felt like mentioning it. But that's what it is. So I think that's interesting. It was also revealed that Snipe was selected to be a writer some time ago during the incident of 5 years ago, which that is my only other problem. Not that he used to be a writer. I think that adds something interesting to his character, that he used to be one and now is one again. But this event, it's hard to fully complain about it yet, but just based on the brief little description when Ex-Aid was getting exposition from the people at the doctor place, I know terms, it sounds very samey to a lot of the formula of Rider series, you know, very much like Begins Night from Double, or just recently, you know, the global freeze from Drive, or the event that turned Haruto, or got him his phantom powers and stuff like that. It seems like there's this blueprint of X event happened X years ago, and now this is happening, and I'm not going to worry about it too much yet, but the exposition definitely felt very samey. Like, Ex-Aid's definitely still intriguing me on a plot level, but that part, I hope doesn't stay too much formulaic. Like, that's the only thing I'm worried about when it comes to that. But I think some of the elements of Snipe being involved in it were interesting. For sure. The fights continue to be very interesting and entertaining. I love how each of them has a different style based on their genre. They're just, I don't really have too much else to say other than they're just a blast to watch. And just, it was overall still a solid episode. I definitely had some problems with Ex-Aid's logic and a little bit worries about some formulaic plots forming, but that's honestly still minor stuff. I'm still remaining cautious. Again, it's not because these complaints have made me think, oh, this is the start of the downhill. It's mainly because I'm enjoying it so much that I'm worried that the other shoe will drop soon, but hopefully not. Next week looks to be the sort of episode focusing on our bike rider guy who has a level 1 form as a normal, and then he becomes a bike, which is interesting. And then I kind of assume, or slash hoping, that maybe then episode 5 will be possibly like Genmu's episode. I mean, he's obviously already debuted. He appeared in the series multiple times, small appearances, and then he even appeared in Ghost, but that might be his episode of focus. So, bottom line is, still enjoying Ex-Aid. Solid episode, another 7 out of 10. Let's hope it continues, because I really like how much I'm looking forward to Rider at this moment. But anyway, until next time, make sure you got the Crazy Podcast at writersrangerambles.com, and of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, Dawson Rider, signing out.